Are you on the hunt for an affordable place to buy a home? Well, today is your lucky day. I am touring the Como Park neighborhood of St. Paul, and you'll see why this neighborhood is ranked so highly on niche.com. It's coming in hot with an A+ rating overall and ranking number 1 for best neighborhood to buy a home in St. Paul, number 3 for the lowest cost of living in St. Paul, and number 4 for the best neighborhood to live in St. Paul. I'm Schumann. I'm a realtor here in the Twin Cities, and my channel is all about what you can expect here in the Minneapolis metro area with homes, the real estate market, and information about what it's like to live in Minnesota from an outsider's perspective, because I am not native to Minnesota. I haven't lived here very long, under 10 years, and it is fun to point out what people who have lived here their whole lives don't even notice. So I'll spill the tea. If you're curious about moving here, I do have a relocation guide that you can download, and that is in the description box below this video. Might give you a little bit more insight. Okay, the Como Park neighborhood sits in the northwest part of St. Paul, right below Roseville and Falcon Heights. These are suburbs of St. Paul. So what makes Como Park special? Is it nightlife? A hopping restaurant scene? Nope. Como is actually a quiet neighborhood, but it does have a very compelling reason to visit, even if you don't live there. It's home to the Como Zoo, beautiful Como Park, cute little Como Town amusement park, and the Como Park Conservatory. These local attractions really make it a pleasant place to live. But let's first talk about housing, and then I'll give you the one reason that may make you think twice about buying a home in this neighborhood. All right, so Como is home to street after street of smaller, what I would consider maybe starter homes. They're not McMansions by any means. They are primarily under 2,000 square feet, and many were built from the early to the mid 1900s. They are primarily cute little Cape Cods, small Tudor style or cottage homes that are really prevalent throughout Minneapolis and St. Paul. The homes in this neighborhood have a median price of $328,000, which is significantly lower than the median single-family home price in the metro area, 7-county metro area, which is currently sitting at $415,000. Neighborhoods like these have a real, what I would think of as like a Mayberry feel to them. There's trees lining the streets, nice sidewalks to use, charming homes, lots of available green space at Como Park, bike lanes, and then of course you have easy access to downtown St. Paul, the University of Minnesota, or Minneapolis itself. The neighborhood is centered around Como Park, and this park is a landmark for anyone in the Twin Cities metro. The park itself is an absolute stunner, but two features of it really stand out year-round. The first one is Como Park Zoo. This zoo is astonishing because it's free to get in, and the size of the zoo and the variety of animals that you'll have the ability to look at or see up close is really something. We used to be members of the larger and more well-known Minnesota Zoo in Apple Valley when we first moved here. And I've been back there since, but the Como Zoo is my number 1 pick for a zoo experience here. Everything is just so much more accessible. The crowds are smaller, the animals are much closer to the public, and you don't feel like you're like in someone's backyard petting zoo either. This is a big zoo. We particularly loved getting to see a baby giraffe this past fall. It was me and like 20 other people in that room, so you weren't really in a scrum looking for it. The second feature is one that you'll often see in photographs for weddings or senior pictures, and that is the conservatory. The building itself is absolutely gorgeous. It's very classical, and you'll feel like you're maybe in a big city like Chicago, New York, or some European city somewhere. The interior is a must visit if you're living here and you feel like you're at the end of your rope with snow. The greenery can kind of bring you back to life. It makes you feel like you might be able to make it through after all. It's a quick hit of high oxygen air and some color for your senses, and it really brings you around. So we actually use that in the winter for that purpose. The last piece of this amazing park is the little Como Town amusement park. It's aimed at small kids, but I think that's what makes this place ideal because the size is manageable. You won't feel overwhelmed. The rides are sized for littles, and those kids are going to be thrilled with their adventure without feeling overstimulated, and you'll still have a good time and be able to get them home for naps. And you can know that it's right there if you want to go again. Summer also features the pool at Como Park opening up, and it has a lazy river, water slides, a climbing wall, diving boards. And honestly, I'm not even starting to scratch the surface of all the fun opportunities that happen in Como Park. So for real, more than I had any idea about, which is one reason that I absolutely love doing these videos because I learn a lot more too. You should check out the park website to get the full flavor. What may have you questioning whether you should pick this particular neighborhood or not, based on all these wonderful things that I just told you? The neighborhood may not be familiar by name for a lot of people, but many people have actually visited this neighborhood without even realizing it. The neighborhood does border the state fairgrounds, so nearly 2 million people come to the state fair over the 10 days at the end of August, and if dealing with that traffic makes you just deeply uncomfortable, that's a gentle way of saying want to pull your hair out, you may want to rethink this neighborhood or consider taking that time for your own vacation somewhere else. Many people in the area make extra money during the fair by allowing people to park on their lawns, and I would view this as maybe some compensation for what has to be a somewhat major disruption to their lives and the biggest downside to living in this area, in my opinion. But if you're into the fair, and if you are, you're going to fit right in here. You're going to love the easy access to it and knowing that you can pop in and out all day and not feel like you have to get your money's worth by getting there at the crack of dawn and staying until it closes. So yeah, silver linings. Does this sound like a good neighborhood for you? Let me know if you have questions. I love to talk to people that meet me on YouTube. Thanks for watching.